I'm going to show you how you can use Swagger generated specification, the OpenAPI specification, to automatically create a collection for you that is filtered, that is sorted and easy to use in Postman, so you don't have to manually add each endpoint. So just starting here is roughly the code you'll have for the 5.1 task, and one line you have to add is the version for your document. This, if you see online, a lot of people get issues with importing into Postman because uh, it doesn't meet the requirements for an OpenAPI JSON document. You can test that in the Swagger online editor. It'll throw an error and tell you it's missing version. So if you run your program and then go to the Swagger UI, you entered into the human readable section. If you click on this little link here, which is just Swagger v1, then swagger.json, this gives you what machines will use. And I've saved this just using save as a JSON file, and I'm going to import that in Postman. So right now I'm in a workspace and the collections tab. If you go to import, then click on a file, and here I have my Swagger file. Both these do similar things, but for the JSON I had, if you just choose the OpenAI spec with a collection, and then import settings I'll come to in a second. And it does all of that for you. It takes a moment. And now you can see you've got another collection. So right now I imported it where it sorts things based on the tag, which is based on our models and our code comments. So it's neatly sorted into maps and robot commands, the two entities, or the two resources we're trying to access and change. And it has all of the commands in that folder, all of the requests. So when you first go click on the actual collection, you're taken to an overview, which is quite nice. This has the basic info that you can see here. It's the first section in the JSON document. And then if you click View Complete Documentation, this renders the API doc in a similar way to Swagger UI. And you have all of the commands, the sample responses, requests. You might notice that right now the server is blank. To change that, if we go back to controller and then click variables, here we have the base URL. This is what is automatically put into each request. You can see there, base URL. And what are the variables? Back to variables, if we just change the current value, mine is HTTP is put in for you, localhost 5190, and you should now see that updated. Nope, I forgot to save it. That is one thing you have to do in each tab in Postman. Yep. And you can see it does that for me, all the square maps. Now, that is pretty much everything for one way of importing it. You can see it literally fills them out all for you and gives you the descriptions if you've commented it well. So here retrieves all square maps, retrieves maps with an ID, but that may for some people be harder to look through because the only identifier for the actual logic is the request type or HTTP method type, just get. So another way is you can import based on the path. So if I import again, select a file, that JSON file, and I go to my import settings. If I scroll down to folder organization, changing that to paths, you'll be able to work through each part of the path of the URL, which might be easier for you to navigate through. So the first part is obviously API. That's where our entire backend is located. And then behind API, you've got either maps here or robot commands. Those are the only two options. And then after that, it's pretty similar. So I'll just go through maps. Next one, you've got square. You've got a basic one, get all the maps. And for some people, this might be more confusing because now you've got ID, which usually would be on its own get map by ID, but it also includes validating a coordinate or updating a map or deleting a map. So it's whatever your personal preference is. But yeah, you just things to remember, including the version in your API doc info, saving it as a JSON file, importing here as a collection, and then choosing in the import settings if you want to sort by tags, which is here like entities, or by the URL path.